Want to know what I actually invest in as a nurse and as a financial educator? In today's video, I want to talk about my investment accounts, what I invest in each accounts, and this is something that I have done to build wealth. And if you also want to do that as well, I have a free class for you in the link down below. I'm going to talk about it more later on, but let's get to it. I didn't grow up learning, how to invest, and even when I was in my early years as a nurse, I thought that investing is very risky. It's something only for the rich people, and it's something that I cannot do as a nurse. And so I stayed away from investing for a while, even though I knew I should be investing. And then I figured out later on how important it is if you really want to be financially free. And this is something that is a must. It's essential for you to invest if you really want to be financially free. It's not one of those things that you can avoid and just save your money. You can only really save so much. And so in today's video, I want to share with you my investments. This is something that I have been getting a lot from you in my comments, in my DMs, what do I invest in? I always talk about investing, but what do you invest in? So first of all, I want to talk about my investment strategy, because I think it's important to kind of have this in mind when it comes to sharing the investments that I have to you. I am a long-term investor, meaning that when I invest my money into something, I don't expect the return from it right away. I give my money time to grow. I give it time to take advantage of compound interest. So my focus really is building wealth slowly and consistently through, automating, maybe index funds and, intentional choices. And so the thing is, when it comes to investments, I am not trying to get 20-30% returns, because I think that's ridiculous. And I think that in order to do that, I'd have to risk more. But I invest mainly for retirement and also for options later on. So now that I have hit Coast Fi, meaning that my investments is enough for me to retire, even though I don't invest anything anymore. That gives me more flexibility when it comes to my work and my career and also my life in general. So let's talk about my investment buckets, because it's important to also note that a lot of people don't know that there's so many ways to invest. You don't have to just go through your employer sponsored retirement account. You don't have to just do real estate. You don't have to just have all these stocks in your portfolio. There are a lot of ways to invest, and I would just call them in this video as investment buckets. And I'm going to share with you really what specific buckets I have when it comes to my investments. Just an overview, I have my work retirement account. So this is something that my work or my employer is sponsoring for me. So this is the 401k, 403b, 457b, TSP. In my case right now, I have a 403b. I talk more about the 401k in my next video. Make sure that you subscribe, that way you can be notified when that comes up. That's number one. My second bucket is my Roth IRA, or my individual retirement account. This is something that I can open up for myself. Number three is my taxable brokerage account. So this is an individual brokerage account, and we're going to talk about that in a little bit. Number four is I also invest in real estate, and I'm going to share with you what sort of ways I invest in real estate. Number five is my business. So my investments within my business and also the business itself. And then lastly, I'm going to talk about investments that I'm doing for my children. Okay, so now that we kind of have an overview of my investment buckets, let's talk about them one by one. Number one is my workplace retirement account. So this is what you sign up for whenever you start a new job or whenever you are employed by someone. So in my case, it's a 403b. I work for a public organization, and the 401k or 403b essentially is a tax deferred account, meaning that the money that you put into this account, you pay taxes later on. So you don't pay taxes on them now, you pay taxes when you take the investments out later on. So what it does essentially is lower down your taxable income, which is really great if you're a high earner, right? If you want to lower down your taxable income. So in this investment account, there are different ways that you can invest. I picked my own, and like I said, I'm going to show you guys in the next video or tell you guys what I picked. You can actually do it yourself. Like you can access your own employer sponsored retirement account. So the other thing to note with a workplace retirement account is that some hospitals, some companies, they do what we call an employer match, meaning that they match whatever you contribute to that retirement account. And thankfully, in my current job right now, I am matched 10%, which is crazy high. That is high. Typically, they do 6 to 10%. For me, they would only match it like maybe 10% after a year. So that is essentially free money on the table if that is something that is offered by your employer. So make sure you take advantage of that. And it's automated, meaning that they do this every paycheck. Like meaning that if you are working full-time right now, then more than likely you're investing already in an employer-sponsored retirement account, which is great. The other thing that you can also get from your employer is a health savings account. I love this account. I do have it from my previous employer, but right now, because of our relocation and just having a family, I realized that we do kind of go to the doctor more often. So the health savings account is only available if you have a high deductible health plan. And I am probably going to make a video about it to go in depth. But essentially, the money that you put in this account is something that you can invest. And the money is supposed to be only used for health expenses, but after a certain age, I think that you can invest. I mean, like you can spend it on other things. And the good thing with this account is that your money also grows tax-free in this account. And the money that you take out is also tax-free, especially if you're going to be using it for medical expenses. But yeah, a health savings account is one thing. I did not max it out last year, but I did utilize it last year because we were in a high deductible health plan last year. But now that I just switched my job, I don't think we're going to be in a high deductible plan because I have kids. They get sick quite often, and like I found that we do pay so much out of pocket going to the doctor and the urgent care and all that stuff. So in the meantime, while we're settling our family here in the new city, then I'm going to be getting a different, health insurance plan, not the high deductible one. So those two are the main ones that I get from my work, retirement accounts from my work. Now let's go to the next investment bucket, which is the individual retirement account. And when I talk about this, I'm mainly talking about my Roth IRA. This is an account that you can open up yourself if you have earned income. So a Roth IRA is really great because you pay for the taxes now. So I mean, a lot of these retirement accounts, the main differences with them are the rules and also the tax implications. So make sure that you keep that in mind. A Roth IRA, money that you put in an account after tax, meaning that you've already paid taxes on that money. So the money that you put in this account grows tax-free. And when you take that money out, it's also tax-free. There is a contribution limit to this, by the way, and also there is an income limit to this. So if you are making a specific amount of money, like that is higher, like you're considered a high income earner, then you may need to do what we call a backdoor Roth IRA, which is what we're doing for my family because I work in California, I'm in the Bay Area, and unfortunately we fall in that fortunately and unfortunately we fall in that high income bucket, even though like the cost of living here is crazy, but we fall under there, so we have to do a backdoor Roth IRA for myself. So in my retirement accounts, I tend to be very conservative, not really conservative, but less risky. So most of the time I only put like index funds in these accounts. There may be some individual stocks, value stocks that I put in it, but most of the investments I have in my Roth IRA are from BTI, which is the total stock market index fund, or it's actually an ETF, but it has low cost fees, and it has grown a lot throughout the year, so it's really great. I try to max it out as early as I can. Right now, I don't think I've maxed it out because, if I'm being honest, I don't have the liquid cash right now because of the whole relocation. So I have not maxed out my Roth IRA, but I think $500 or $1,000 short. But it's only, July. I still have a lot of months to go to max it out. I max out my Roth IRA every year. That is a goal of mine. This is something that you can also open in an individual brokerage account like Fidelity or Vanguard if you want to know how to open it up. The next investment account or investment bucket is my taxable brokerage account. I love this investment account because there are no rules for this account. The only thing is that it is taxable, so you are going to be taxed on capital gains, meaning that the money that you make from this account is something that you're going to be taxed on like later on when you take the money out. So depending also on how long you keep your investments in there, or like how soon you take the money out, because there's long-term capital gains tax and short-term capital gains tax. And in this account, there are no limits like what I had mentioned earlier. So you can put as much as you can. If you have $100,000, you can put it in this account, no problem. It doesn't need to be an earned income. It doesn't need to be a contribution limit or anything. It's really a great account to have if you want to retire early. And I love this account so much, and that's why I have a lot of individual stocks in this account that has grown a lot. So, but this is something good to have if you want to retire early, because you can utilize this to take money out before you even hit 30. Because most retirement accounts, they have rules on when you can take the money out without any penalty. Individual brokerage account, on the other hand, you can take your money out anytime. So that is my third investment bucket. The fourth one is real estate. So this is something that a lot of people are probably interested in. And I don't know if I had mentioned it in my other videos, but we do have like a rental. We have a house that we own that we rent long term. So that is one way of investing in real estate. You can even buy a property and do like short-term rentals like an Airbnb or, VRBO, Verbo, or I don't even know how to say that. You can even do midterm rentals. I'm not going to get into details about the whole tax benefits of this. There are a lot of benefits tax-wise with real estate investing. That's why a lot of people are doing this. But also, I want to be, it's hard to be ethical when it comes to real estate investing. That's something that I'm still looking into. But yeah, like real estate really is a good investment if you have the capital and the time. This may be a hot take, but I fully believe that you have to have utilized everything that I had mentioned earlier, like stock market assets, stock market accounts, and all that stuff before you even invest in real estate. But that is just me. I love stock market investing because you can focus on like working your full-time jobs. You can like automate your investments over there without having to take time off of work and be busy with other things. So for someone who doesn't want to deal with the nuisance and all the crazy things that real estate comes with, that real estate investing comes with, I would just stick to those investment accounts. But for me, I have my husband. My husband's the one who's been kind of managing our rental. So that kind of takes off of my plate, which is really nice, because if you are a rental owner, then you're going to have to deal with your tenants. You're going to have to deal with evictions. You're going to have to deal with everything that breaks in your house. So it is a lot of maintenance. It's a lot of headache. And if you're willing to take on that headache, go for it. The good thing with the stock market is that if you do want to invest in real estate, there are things or investments that we call REITs right here. And it's just investing in real estate through stock market. You can buy REITs, they give dividends, and it's a good way to invest in real estate or in a different sector if you want through the stock market. So that is another way. And then the other thing is syndications. So syndications is like a real estate investment fund where people pull money to buy like bigger properties. And so if you're interested in syndications, make sure you look up about this. Make sure that whoever you're investing in is someone that you can trust. So I mean, it does there's a steep learning curve when it comes to like this kind of investments. But real estate is a great way to invest as well. So the next investment bucket that I have is business investments. So I started my online business 2 years ago, and through this business, I'm able to learn a lot, like grow a lot as an entrepreneur. And I think that in itself is an investment, right? Like, I think if you invest in yourself, you can never lose because you learn how to make money, you learn skills to make more money, and those are the most important thing when it comes to building wealth, because you got to have income to invest, right? So if you can invest in yourself, if you can invest in education, if you can invest in skills that will help you make more income, then that is a really great way for you to be able to be financially free. Learned a lot of like business skills. I learned a lot about like personal growth, because I think business is a personal growth journey in itself. But at the same time, having a business also helps you with taxes. And the second thing is that it lets you be able to open your own investment accounts for the business. So for me, I have a solo 401k for my business, and that is another way for me to invest. And just like my retirement accounts and my investment accounts, I have mostly index funds, VTI, in my solo 401k. So that is one way to invest. I think that like because of the business model that I have, and I love talking about business. One thing that I love about my model of business is that like I have an educational platform that teaches nurses how to invest. So in this platform, I have digital products that can live on the internet forever, as long as I'm paying, of course, for hosting and all that stuff. But this is something that can compound over time as well. This is something that can be discovered by clients later on. So this is really great. Like, it's a really great investment to have. But of course, when it comes to business, you wanna like do something that you actually want to do. Like, I love teaching, I love being creative. So in a way, this is also my creative outlet, and also a way to help other nurses like you build wealth, because I want to share what I know to everybody. So yeah, so that is one way, one other investment that I have. And lastly, I have investment accounts for my kids. I don't want my kids to be my investment. I want to invest for them. I don't know if it's in your culture as well, but in my culture, or in some cultures, they often see their kids as their retirement accounts, or they raise kids because they need somebody to take care of them when they're older, or to support them financially when they're older. I don't want that for any of my kids, and this is why I'm investing heavily for myself right now, and actually prioritizing investing in me before my children, because I don't want my children to have that responsibility of taking care of me when I'm older. So how I invest for my children is that my children, because education is a big part of my family and my culture, and I believe in education and how it can help you become successful in life. I have a 529 for my kids. This is an investment account specifically for education, but nowadays there's actually been a lot more flexibility with this account, where you can roll it to a Roth IRA later on for your kids. But yeah, like I have a 529 for my kids. I also have a custodial account for them, and I make sure that like the education that I'm learning right now, everything that I know about money is something that I will openly talk about with my kids, because the best thing you can really give to your kids is education, and actually raising them to be financially savvy and learn more about money early in life. So that's how I invest for my kids. And yeah, so those are my investment buckets. I have my workplace retirement accounts, my own retirement accounts, individual brokerage account, which are all stock market, asset investments. I have real estate, I have my business investments, and also I invest for my kids and invest in education. And I think that all of this encompasses, like investing in myself. And at the end of the day, this is the best investment, because you are, you can never go wrong with investing in yourself. So yeah, so if you're a nurse and you're interested in learning how stock market investing works, I have a free class link down below where I talk to you about stock market investing. And yeah, so hopefully that this video gave you an idea of what things you can invest in as a nurse. And when it comes to investments, make sure that you're also diversifying and not putting everything in one basket. So yeah, hopefully this video is helpful for you and I'm able to share with you my investment buckets. And in the comment down below, can you let me know what are you investing in? I would love to know. And I will see you guys in the next video. I am actually done with charging my car. I got off work early today and I'm driving to see my babies. And it's gonna be a long drive. I thought I'd pop in here and make this video for you. So I'll see you in the next video, and bye.